In today's video, we're going to be talking about the three major suit styles. Obviously, there's more than just three suit styles in the world, but these are the three most common styles. They're the American style, the English or British style, and then the Italian style. We're going to discuss the details of the three, the strengths, the weaknesses, the differences, and in the end, I'm going to let you know which one is the best and why. I'm Bill Sweet and welcome to the Dad Bod. Today we're going to be discussing the three most popular suit styles, which is the English, the Italian, and the American styles. We don't have a sponsor for today's video, but I did want to give a shout out to an Etsy shop called Lucky Lotus Design Company. If you know somebody who loves to read, they got tote bags, shirts, and stickers offered by the Lucky Lotus Design Company's Etsy shop. It's a great place to find a gift for them. I'll put a link in the video description if you're interested, because they got things like Halloween-themed book stickers and bags and shirts, and I'd rather be reading stickers. They got buy me books and tell me I'm pretty stickers, and even a shirt that says, I closed my book to be here. They offer free shipping on all products, so check them out after you finish watching this video, of course. Okay, back to my favorite topic, suits. To truly understand how suits are now, we need to briefly discuss how the modern day suits came to be. And it all really started with a guy named George Brian Brummel, who went by the name Beau Brummel. Prior to his impact on men's fashion, people wore these big and colorful outfits. And you know what I'm talking about. They had the frills and stuff on the shirts. They had powdered wigs and yes, even high-heeled shoes. And then along comes Beau Brummel, who is known now by many as the pioneer to modern suit fashion. And he would wear clothing that fit more closely to his body. He would wear simpler colors. So during the day, he would wear something like a dark blue or a navy colored coat with khaki or tan pants. And then in the evenings, he would switch it up to wearing black. Then this sort of attire quickly became popular as men would wear their lounge suits during the day, and at dinner, they would switch to wearing an evening suit. He took much of his influence from the many outfits that he wore while he was attending school and when he was in the military. And afterwards, many countries adopted his style of attire, and they eventually put their own cultural spin onto it. For example, the English went in one direction. They have a very strong culture of doing what is expected and following the rules, which is seen in their suit style. Their style is very conservative. It's very similar to the military officer style, but made for civilians. Their suits have a strong structure with a fairly stiff inner lining. When you look at the suit, it looks proper. You have things like padded shoulders. You have a canvas that's stiffer than the American or the Italian styles. And the suits have a bit of waist suppression, meaning that they're closely fitting without being too tight. Again, conservative. It's not skinny fitting and it's not baggy. England is higher north than any of the states within the continental United States, and it's higher north than Italy, so they often have colder temperatures. Therefore, their suits are made with that in mind. The traditional English suit often uses heavier fabrics such as a worsted wool, a tweed, or a flannel. This helps them hold in the warmth a little bit better. The front quarters, meaning the bottom front of the suit jacket, is more of a straight cut. It opens less than the Italian jacket style would. Their stitching is a bit more conservative. You're not often going to see things like double rows of pick stitching outside of the lapel. The lapel gorge, where the collar meets the lapel, is usually not very high, and then the lapels themselves are not very wide. The jacket's usually found with a flap pocket and a ticket pocket. They'll usually have surgeon buttons on the sleeves, meaning functional buttons, and then the jacket will often have side vents in the back. Those are more common characteristics of an English or British suit style. They're more often meant to mimic the bespoke style. So even if the suit is purchased off the rack, the features and the functions will often remain the same, and then the tailor will tailor it to the English style of tailoring, which is close-fitting and conservative. Now, Italy is quite different. In Italy, many things vary from location to location. So the Italian food that's common in Rome is different than the food that's common in Venice. And the food that's often found in Venice is going to be different than the food that's found in Naples. So food, wine, music, clothing, and yes, suits are all going to differ from region to region. So when we refer to the Italian style of suits, we're mostly referring to the Neapolitan style, which is common in the lower parts of Italy, where the weather is much warmer. Warmer weather means that the suits are going to be made with a lighter or looser woven fabric to be a little bit cooler and breathe more. These suits will often have little to no shoulder padding. And then this spot right here where the fabric of the shoulder and the sleeves get put together, they fold the excess fabric in over the shoulder, which creates light waves in the shoulder of the suit, which they call spalla camicia. With English tailoring, this would look a bit off. It would probably come off as sloppy, but it is more common in the Italian style of suits. Another common Italian shoulder type is the roped shoulder, where it removes those waves and gives a ridge going up and down the sleeves, looking kind of like a shoulder waterfall, if you will. Where the English tend to focus more on looking conservative by using conservative colors with their suits and traditional features, the Italian style focuses more on fashion. Here, you're going to see a lot more patch pockets. You'll see more 3-button single-breasted suits with the top button left unbuttoned. The suit is often made with a lighter weight fabric for the canvas or no canvas at all. And they'll often have pick stitching throughout all of the seams. Here you're going to find your higher gorge and wider lapels or even slim lapels. And then these suits will often have no vent in the back, which can be flattering to those who are quite lean, which, Italians often are, but it's not as flattering or functional for larger men like myself. In Italy, you also have the central Italian style, which is a little bit more militant, but nowhere near the English style. These are fairly similar to the Neapolitan style, but they'll often have a light shoulder padding. They're usually going to be a 2-button single-breasted. Both Italian styles often use much lighter colors, and they'll often have patterns which would be characterized as flamboyant when compared to the English style of suits. And then lastly, we've got the American style of suits. These came into fashion with the invent of the mass-produced suits. Brooks Brothers played a big part in making this style as popular as it is today. It was originally known as a sack suit because it kind of resembled a sack, just something you throw over your torso. It was mass-produced to fit a large number of people. They focused on the one-size-fits-all approach to make them cheaper and to make them faster. Cheaper to buy and cheaper to replace is what they would say. The English would often buy suits that were made to last a lifetime, whereas the American style was made cheaper to get it now and replace as needed. They have lower cut armholes, which helps the suit to fit more people, but it also makes movement within the suit a bit more restrictive. The suit was often more of a straight cut. It didn't have much contours and usually no waist suppression, making it slightly less flattering than the English or Italian suits. They most often had 2 buttons in the front, standard with notch lapels, and then non-functioning sleeve buttons. So I want to make this part clear. I'm not saying the American suit style is bad. You can get high quality American style suits. They're just going to be a little bit less conservative than the English style, but also more conservative than the Italian style. You'll see more patterns like sharkskin and bird's eye. Again, you're not going to see much waist suppression, and they're often going to be worn a little bit more loose than the English tailoring style. Most of them don't have a canvas due to cost saving, but those that do, the canvas isn't as thick as the English, so they don't form around the body as well as the English style of suits. So, which suit style is the best? That is a personal preference, which is based partially on your geographical location. If you live farther south, where the weather is much warmer, you would be better off going with the lightweight fabrics of the Italian styles. If you live further north, where the weather is colder, then the English or British tailoring styles would benefit you more. And then if you live where they're all seasons like me, then you're more able to mix and match them. And these days, with made-to-measure suits lowering the price of custom suits, you can mix and match within the same suit. If you want more of an English look to the suit, but you want a looser weave fabric and half canvas to allow it to breathe more, you can do that. You can choose your lapels, you can choose your buttons, your suit vents to match your preference. I highly recommend trying out different styles and then determining which you like the best. For me, in my body shape, mid to wide lapels tend to look better on me. And my preference, because I like my suits to stand out a bit, I tend to go for the peak lapels. Obviously, not today, I'm wearing notch lapels. And then our 95-degree North Carolina summers and 20-degree winters allow me to go back and forth between a summer and a winter wardrobe. I tend to wear the heavier fabrics in the winter and the lighter fabrics in the summer, so I've got different suits to match. But if I was on a budget, I would probably go with the lighter fabrics because I could always add more layers, such as a sweater or a vest if I get cold. Try not to pigeonhole yourself into only one style. Now, what are your thoughts on men wearing pink? Is it acceptable? Is it unacceptable? Is it flattering, unflattering? Check out this video right here with 5 reasons why you need to be wearing pink, and I will see you there.